Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Mossy, aka Cybex Trades, and today I'm just going to do a simple trade recap. Very good day for me in terms of P&L wise and overall just trade management and execution. These trades were mainly courtesy of Rippy God from Rippy Global, and yeah, I decided to take trades with him on this day with a very tight stop loss, and yeah, they worked out beautifully, and took profits and trimmed as we went along. So yeah, let's go ahead and straight up just dive into it. So coming into the day, as you guys can see, we had a huge. Going to clear this. We had a huge rejection from the supply, demand turned supply, and then we gapped down. We gapped up from that day, and then we gapped down again. So now it looks like we're going to be attempting to fill that gap at the moment right now while the market's open. Maybe not. Maybe who knows. But yeah, I mean, this was the structure today. Me personally, I didn't really have any levels in terms of my levels were to go long above 450 and short below 446. But then I saw Hassan take a play right off of open, and based off of his thesis and the previous time how he did it, which I butchered that first time. I trusted with this one because it was also the break of a small little trend line break as well in the 5 minute. So yeah, let's go ahead and do my levels and see where I entered and exited. So yeah, coming into the day, basically he entered puts like right here. To be honest with you, I wasn't really like, I mean, it was crazy to be honest with you. I think it was 632. Yeah, it was like right here. So he entered puts right here, and me personally, I was like, okay, this is interesting. You know, not that I really have any like too many doubts, but I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what he sees that I don't see. You know, 8 years of experience. You know, so I can't versus 1 year of 1 year, almost 1 year of almost half a year experience or less, 3 months of experience, or really, you know, can't really argue against that. But yeah, so I entered here, saw the breakdown, and saw that the 9 EMA, I believe, was it? Yeah, yeah. So I entered here as soon as I saw. Let me go ahead and minimize this. So I entered here as soon as I saw it hold below the 9 EMA, and I was like, all right, my stop loss is going to be really tight, so above the 9 EMA and everything. And yeah, my stop loss, I was going to say, it was going to be really tight. So I was in the green, and I entered as my second contract. I was like, okay, this play is pretty valid. We could definitely break this. Even on SPX, I was watching SPX levels, and because he uses SPX as well, and I was watching the ES levels, and they were all looking weak to the downside. And yeah, basically held the 9 EMA beautifully, never closed above it once. Because for me personally, I was like, okay, if we close above the 9 EMA, I'm out, you know. So yeah, I mean, look at that, I just wrote it beautifully down and broke this level, and this is my first trim right here, like 184. And then held it again. I left a runner, my contract, and exited at 219. And that was pretty much the first trade, you could say. And yeah, so for the next trade, same thing, SPY really. Two trades really, but three trades. But I mean, the other one was break even, so whatever, you know. But yeah, so this one I entered because we had a bear flag here. If you guys look, let me remove this indicators, man. I just used the VWAP in 921, but sometimes with all these colors, they look like it's Picasso. So come on, man. Anyway, so if we look here, we had a bear flag here, a nice bear flag. Let me go ahead and draw that out just so you guys can see that better. We had a nice little bear flag, you know. So I was like, okay. Um, Hassan mentioned it out as well. I was like, okay, we can definitely enter some. I was in profits, right? So I was like, you know, now this isn't really the best thing, but since it was a really tight stop loss, I was like, okay, we can do it, you know. Super, 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 super tight stop loss. Entered a 0 DTE. I believe it was a 445 put, 0 DTE. Entered right here. Stop loss was literally going to be like, I believe it was the 9 EMA. So anything if we touched the 9 EMA, or it was actually not even the 9 EMA. It was like if we touched here. So I was like, if we touched here, I'm out. So I entered like right here, and I was like, if we touched here, I'm out. Got an exited right here for a quick scalp, and that was like a basically a 10 point $10 contract difference, and yeah, made a couple more dollars on that. Nice trade. Overall, our risk to reward, I was just playing with profits to be honest with you. So you know, looking back at it, I'm not too hard on myself for playing 0 DTEs, one contract, you know, with that stop loss. And yeah, and then I entered again here because I was like, okay, we could have a really nice downside here if we actually, you know, because I entered here again because of the 45.50, 445.50 level that wasn't holding, and I was like, okay, we could have a really nice downside here. And I got out of break even, so I entered like right here. Candle came back up. I was like, I'm out, And then yeah, it's a good thing I came out because 0DT contracts, they really tend to move. Their premiums really fluctuate faster, especially on whether it's SPY or SPX. I mean, SPX is just insane, those fluctuations. But yeah, for a small account like myself, I'm happy for the day, so I was like, I'm break even, so 3 out of 3, 2 out of 2, and then 1 break even. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. Beautiful play all around. Shout out to Hassan. He's a great trader, amazing trader, and these trades just made sense to me. To be honest with you, I was like, you know what? Since it's Tuesday, I can size light, and I saw that it was my confirmations really were watching SPX levels as well, because he was watching SPX levels as well. If we look at the 5 minute as well, I mean the 1 minute on SPX. Let me show you guys here. Yeah, I mean look at that beautiful breakdown to the 440, 440, 44.89. We couldn't hold it, and then we broke down. And then 45.89, we kind of reacted here, and then we broke down again. So yeah, and then below 480, it was it was pretty much over at that point. And then if we go back into the was it today? Yes. How can I make this today? And ES as well was showing really nice. Was showing really nice. What do you call it? Confluences along with SPY and SPX. So I couldn't really take a chance and not take those trades. So yeah, ES, because he took the trade. I believe I followed this trade signal when it was above 4,500, because I was kind of iffy, about ES holding 4,500. And yeah, I mean 632 took it pretty much right here. He entered right here, and then breakdown, and then retest. Perfect retest of this 45.05. I mean, this was a pretty much a stop loss for me, to be honest with you, as well. Looking at the ES, and then that's what really made me hold this trade down all the way to 4,500. I think my first profit was 4,500 on ES, and then the next one was 44.90. And yeah, overall, very beautiful trade. I'm really happy. A 15% on the account overall, putting me at $87 P&L position. And yeah, overall, beautifully managed. My emotions were managed. My risk was managed. It wasn't part of my game plan or whatever, but it wasn't part of my game plan. But overall, though, I'm really happy with, compared to last time where I took a signal of his, and this time I was able to, really hold it and really use tight risk parameters, and as well as moving average to help me gauge the potential trade not working out or not, and then writing that beautifully down to my levels, and then my profit levels, really trim levels, like I say. I used ES for trim levels, if I'm being honest, rather than SPY. But either way, they worked out beautifully, because we bounced right off of the 446 level here, and then yeah, I mean this 0DT was just playing with profits. To be honest with you, it wasn't really part of the plan. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Break even, 2 trades, 1 0 DTE, one weekly, and one 2 DTE, one weekly, and yeah, that is pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.